In olden days, in order to draw for publication, one had to do steel engravings or wood blocks. The reason for this is because printing presses only print in black. There's no halftones hadn't been invented a long time ago, and so it had to be either black or white on the page. The White House, of course, appears on the $20 bill as an engraving from our friends at the Mint. I'm Kurt Wollner, and I enjoy drawing in black and white in pen and ink. The shadows cast by all of the stonework on the front door of the White House, all of its creamy richness, is a great subject for pen and ink. So I'm going to try it. So let's get on with it. Pen and ink, of course, is done through hatching. What you do is that you draw lines in the direction of the surfaces, and it tends to give a shape to things. Boy, it's hot in here. I can't stand it. Anyway, we have to make some tests. This first one it's too dark, and although at the top here I try to model it like our crumb, doesn't work for me. So in this second test, it's a lot better, and I might lighten it even further still. The next thing that we need to do is to get the columns in. To do horizontal hatching that is curved, that follows the contour of the column as it goes up in space, is very delicate operation. I put pencil marks underneath in the drawing so that I can see where they're supposed to be. And further up the column, they're more rounded. There, that's better. The next thing to go in is the doorway. And the cross-section of the doorway indicates how it's formed. And the hatching has a great deal to do with making that relief come alive. The next thing to go in is the door. And the door has wood graining on it. So I cleverly hatch some wood grain fields in, and then to get the dark color, I do a hatching across the entire surface of the door. And it's not really dark enough, so I'm going to do some toning. And the way that this is done is that I make myself a little pattern of where I want I want it to be darker and where I want it to be lighter, because the door is semi-glossy, so it kind of sort of reflective. And then we throw in some hatching, an additional layer of hatching, so that makes it a little bit darker. Now I have to move on to the entablature over the door. This is a very groovy piece of relief sculpture, and a lot of hatching goes in here, a lot of really great shading. Then to the window, we move on to the window, and sooner or later I'm going to have to figure out what gets reflected in the window and what you can see through the window. It's very tricky. Then the arch over the doorway with all of its griffins and flowers and dragons and whatever it is. I don't exactly know what it is, but oh, the Scottish Masons, they know. The next thing to go in is the garlands. The garlands, you pretty much trace what is in the pencil and then you shade it all later. Now we come to the endless amounts of details, putting in all of the shading and everything that has to do with it. I'm especially pleased with how the garland turns out because it's so complicated, and the shading, the little cross hatching that one puts in adds so much to it. It's just wonderful. And now we put in the floor. We start off with the carpet that's in front. The floor, it's hard to determine what the floor is. It's kind of glossy in some pictures and not in others. So I'm going to try and put in like an aspect of reflectivity in the flooring. So there it is, the entrance to the White House in stunning pen and ink. Hope you've enjoyed the journey. On our next chapter, we're going to start penciling in the two main dining rooms on the main floor of the White House, the state dining room and the family dining room. I hope you can join us. If you're enjoying these videos, please subscribe to the channel if you would. Until next time, thank you for your attention. Bye-bye.